In Senator Zaibak's maiden speech, he offered a line that stayed with many of us. He said, and I quote, "When I turn 75, I will hopefully have repaid some of the debt that I owe my beloved Canada." Today, as we mark his retirement, it is fair to say that debt has been repaid and then some. While his tenure in this chamber has been shorter than many, its impact has been anything but modest. In just 918 days, Senator Zaibak shepherded a Senate public bill through this place and brought it to the threshold of completion in the other place. He served as deputy chair of the Standing Senate Committee on National Security and Defense. He has distinguished himself through a disproportionately high level of engagement in committees of the whole, and he did not shy away from taking principled positions on complex and at times controversial matters. That's a remarkable legacy in a short period of time, and one of which he should be justly proud. Colleagues will also remember how he carried out this work. Senator Zaibak has the rare ability to approach difficult subjects with a calm demeanor and a clear and steady voice. It is a voice with quiet authority, one that commands attention not by volume, but by substance. His interventions, measured, principled, and quietly persuasive, have consistently emphasized the importance of inclusion, economic opportunity, and social cohesion. Those qualities are deeply rooted in his journey, from the cradle of civilization in Syria to the boardrooms of Toronto and ultimately to parliamentary life here in Ottawa. He has brought to this chamber a perspective that is both deeply personal and profoundly Canadian. It is a perspective of someone who came to this country in search of opportunity and found not only success, but a genuine and abiding love for Canada. Senator Zaibak, your passion, your humility, and your steadfast commitment to the public good will be missed in this place. Mohammed, it is my pleasure to say this plainly. Your debt is paid. The ledger is balanced. You leave this chamber with a full account and nothing owing. However, there is, I'm told, one outstanding obligation. In that same maiden speech, you promised that upon your retirement, you would repay your family with a very long, well-deserved, hopefully expensive vacation. I believe that time has now arrived, and that payment is due, particularly to Najla. On behalf of your colleagues in the Canadian Senators Group, and indeed all of us who have had the privilege to serve alongside you, I wish you a happy and fulfilling retirement, safe travels, and every enjoyment on a long overdue family journey.
Senator Moreau.
Thank you, Speaker. Honourable Senator, I rise today on behalf of the Government Representative's Office to pay tribute to our colleague, the Honourable Mohamed Khair Zaibak. We often associate Senator Zaibak with his distinguished and stately demeanor that corresponds with his worldly and expansive career. Having pursued such overreaching and multifaceted endeavors in international capitals projects, economic statecraft, and corporate governance, Senator Zaibak developed a certain unmistakable gravitas. After all, one does not lead with success enterprises such as the Canadian Development and Marketing Corporation, nor Terranet, without the poise and composure that the scale, reliability, and polyvalence of public-private partnership require. Correspondingly, there has not been a lack of recognition for Senator Zaibak's leadership as the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, the International Strategy Advisory Committee, and the Canada Arab Business Council each subsequently fought to gain his counsel. With such experience, it came to no surprise that once he entered the upper chamber, Senator Al-Zaibak was able to judiciously navigate Parliament towards the recognition of Arab Heritage Month, but more importantly, towards the lifting of Canadian sanctions on Syria following the regime change. This respite will provide breathing room for a Syria that is no longer experienced solely in grief or in exile, but that has an opportunity to bloom again. Through these important first years of transition for the country, Canadians will be there to support the new democracy, notably with the development of its civic institution through the Canada-Syria Parliamentary Friendship Group, which Senator Al-Zaibak also established. Here we can observe a second, more subdued part of Senator Al-Zaibak under the cosmopolitan demeanor. Senator Al-Zaibak also always cared for the less glorious part of life. He ensured that his time and expertise contributed as well to civic society, sitting on many universities or cultural boards. He attended plenty of our senatorial events, recognizing the importance of the different causes we all carry, but also taking the opportunity to connect with guests and staff members. Most importantly, he never forgot about the people, as he helped over 1,200 Syrian refugees find private sponsorships to secure their arrival here in Canada. We can be proud that these refugees now can call our country home, as we have had the honor of Senator Al-Zaibak calling Canada home as well. I wish you the best in retirement, Senator Al-Zaibak, and while I know you will take a lot of time with your wife and children, I hope they will leave you enough space to maybe come back here and say hello. We will miss you, sir.
Senator Husakos.
Honorable colleagues, I rise today to pay tribute to our colleague, Senator Mohammed Al-Zaibak, as he retires from the Senate of Canada. While our time working together in this chamber was relatively brief, it has been a distinct pleasure to serve alongside the Senator. Senator Al-Zaibak came to this place with a lifetime of real-world experience as an entrepreneur, a business leader, and he brought that practical, grounded perspective directly to our deliberations. When you look at his background, it's clear he's someone who knows how to get things done. Long before he joined us in the Senate, he was a major force in Canada's tech sector. As the co-founder, president, and CEO of Canadian Development and Marketing Corporation, he has been deeply involved in financing and management of specialized information technology services. He was also one of the principal architects behind TerraNet, which completely modernized Ontario's electronic land registration, a true testament to his rigor, leadership, and expertise. But what I respect just as much is how he balanced that sharp business with a genuine dedication to his community in Toronto and to the country as a whole. He spent decades strengthening Canada's economic and cultural ties globally, especially within the Arab world, whether it was serving as director of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce or chairing the Canada Arab Business Council. He always focused on building bridges and making Canada a stronger place. His civic contributions in Toronto covered just about everything from Waterfront Toronto and the Royal Ontario Museum to co-founding Lifeline Syria to help resettle refugees. It's a remarkable record of service, Senator, and it's exactly why he was awarded both the Golden and Diamond Jubilee medals over the years and deserves a lot more accolades. Honorable colleagues, our chamber is at its best when we have people who bring that kind of practical experience to the table. Even though we didn't overlap for a very long time, Senator Zaibak always conducted himself with professionalism, a collaborative spirit, and complete respect for the institution. I will say, Senator, you are a legend in Toronto and in the Syrian community across Canada. I can tell you the Syrian Canadians in Montreal that I represent, every time I cross their paths, they speak of you with complete pride. And that speaks volumes, because at the end of the day, we all represent not just Canada, but we represent the various components of this country. And as the first Canadian of Syrian descent, I can tell you, you have served this institution with honor. And furthermore, over the last few months, I've had the privilege of sitting down with Senator Zaibak and breaking bread and having some discussions, not on the issues we agree on, because as I've said in the past, it's easy to dialogue with those you agree with. What takes, of course, a different approach to life is dialoguing with people you disagree with. And the Senator and I have had a long dialogue on all the issues we agree with, but particularly the issues we disagree with. And I look forward to continuing to have that dialogue, because when we do that, that's Canada at its best, and that's when we strengthen our society. So, Senator, thank you for your service to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, your community. God bless you, and all the best in your retirement.
Senator Ravalia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Brother Mohammed, honorable senators, I rise today on behalf of the ISG to pay tribute to our esteemed colleague, the Honorable Mohammed Khair al-Zaibak. His tenure in this chamber has been defined by the very same principles that have guided his entire life: compassion, nation building, generosity, and an unwavering belief in the promise of Canada. Though his time in this upper house marks the conclusion of his formal political chapter, his legacy as a trailblazing entrepreneur, a champion for diversity, and a lifeline for those fleeing tyranny will resonate for generations. Born in Syria, he arrived in this country with a deep appreciation for the democratic freedoms and opportunities that many take for granted. He brought with him an extraordinary mind for innovation and engineering, ultimately shaping Ontario's foundational infrastructure as the co-founder of TerraNet Inc. Within this chamber and across this country, he has been exemplary in his advocacy for inclusion. As has been highlighted, he helped resettle nearly 1,200 Syrian refugees through Lifeline Syria, turning Canadian compassion into tangible action. He fiercely championed Bill S-227 to recognize April as Arab Heritage Month, ensuring that the rich contributions of Arab Canadians are officially woven into our national fabric. He brought his vast expertise to community institutions, serving on the boards of the Royal Ontario Museum, Toronto Metropolitan University, and the Canadian Arab Institute. Whether debating intricate digital policy or sharing his moving reflection on Canada's role as a global beacon of refugees, Mohammed has always spoken from a place of deep principle. Senator al-Zaibak has masterfully leveraged his rich Syrian Arab heritage to build enduring diplomatic and cultural bridges between Canada and the Arab world. Within our parliament, he uniquely translated this cultural legacy into highly effective international diplomacy. He serves as an executive leader for both the Canada-Saudi Arabian Interparliamentary Group and the Canada-Qatar Parliamentary Friendship Group, reinforcing vital bilateral pathways and parliamentary diplomacy. He is actively engaged with senior Middle Eastern diplomats and parliamentary counterparts to enhance foreign relations, economic ties through trusted peer-to-peer dialogue. He leaves this chamber with the same dignity, warmth, and intellectual rigor that characterized his first day. As you transition to this next chapter, alongside your family, you leave our country, our chamber, more stronger, more inclusive, and deeply enriched. Let me finish with a quote from Rumi. "A true friend is like a mirror, reflecting our souls back to us, reminding us of who we truly are. You leave behind a chamber of admiring friends. Your warm smile, dignity, and deep friendship will be sorely missed. Thank you, brother. Shukran Mubarak."
Senator Sankel.
Senator Henkel. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
We often measure a parliamentary mandate by the number of years, but the truest measure is the depth of the imprint left behind. Senator al-Zaibak, your time in this chamber may have been brief, but it was remarkably impactful. You arrived here with the sharp instinct of an entrepreneur, someone who understands that you do not just build projects, you build relationships. Whether the debate turned to the economy, defense, or national security, you never settled for the surface. You always looked for the foundation, asking how we could strengthen our institution and create the strategic partnerships needed to move Canada forward. That builder's mindset naturally guided your work in parliamentary diplomacy, most notably by opening doors and reinforcing vital ties with the Gulf region through dialogue and earned trust. But perhaps the most enduring bridge you built is Bill S-227. In establishing Arab Heritage Month, you gave Canadians much more than a symbolic milestone. You anchored a vibrant history, culture, and profound contribution of Arab Canadians permanently into our national fabric. It is a legacy that will offer rightful recognition and inspire a deep sense of pride and belonging for generation of Arab Canadians to come. Senator El Zaibak, you are, in every sense of the word, a true gentleman. From my very first day in this chamber, your courtesy and warmth were a welcome encore. You have been consistently generous with your time, deeply respectful of your exchanges, and genuinely attentive to those around you. You have proven that a short mandate can carry weight when it is driven by clear purpose and a generous heart. Thank you, my dear colleague, for your dedicated service, for the bridges you built, and for the example you leave behind. I wish you and your family every happiness in this next chapter. Thank you.
Senator Tollejan.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Senators, I rise today to pay a tribute to my brother, Senator Mohammad Khair Al-Zaibak. If you're wondering why I call him brother, it's the way that we Muslims address one another to show our bond of faith and to emphasize the equality between us. There are some colleagues whose presence reminds us why public service matters, and Mohammed is one of those colleagues. Senator Al-Zaibak's journey to this place is remarkable. Born in Syria, he built a successful career in Canada, and you heard about some of those successes. But what has always struck me most is what he chose to do with those achievements. Again and again, he has used his success as a means of lifting others up. Many Canadians came to know Senator Al-Zaibak through his leadership during the Syrian refugee crisis. At a time when thousands of families were searching for safety and hope, he helped transform compassion into action. He reminded us that by welcoming newcomers, it's an act of faith in human potential. What I admire most about Senator Al-Zaibak is the quiet conviction that guides him. I remember going recently to a restaurant which serves Middle Eastern food, and the owner came to speak to me, and when he found out I was a senator, he was so excited and asked me if I knew Senator Al-Zaibak, and he went on to tell me about how much you had helped him, and I thank you for that. And I thought to myself, that's so typical of Senator Al-Zaibak. He has transformed so many lives, and he did it so quietly. He seeks solutions, not attention. He measures success by opportunities created for others, not by recognition received. And during my most recent conversations with Senator Al-Zaibak, we talked about the situation in the Middle East. Like all of us, he is heartbroken over what is happening in the region. He expressed his sincere wish for peace, which I echoed too, a peace such as we have enjoyed and we have here in Canada. Senator Al-Zaibak reminds us that the Canadian story is still being written by people who arrive with hope, work with determination, and serve with generosity. His life is a testament to the idea that citizenship is a commitment to contribute, to build, and to leave things better than how we found them. Senator Zaibak, I know that you're very proud of your family, and I hope the next chapter of your life will allow you to enjoy more time with them. We in this chamber thank them for sharing you with us. We remain mindful that your greatest title is not senator, entrepreneur, or community leader, but husband, father, grandfather, and family man. Shukran, brother. You will be missed.